The breakdown you're about to watch is brought to you by We Want Picks Premium Membership. Premium membership gets you all sorts of exclusive content, early bets, fantasy tools, and betting guides. Check it out now, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. Get ahead of these betting lines and get access to all of the tools now with an optimizer. We have a DraftKings optimizer available to you at the same low price of $10 a month. That's $2.50 a week. You get all of our bets early, all of our fantasy content early. You get betting tools and now a DraftKings optimizer, DraftKings ownership, and everything you need to build now up to 150 lineups with just a few clicks. WeWantPicks.com at the top. Click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. All right, $10 a month. You have one good week. You pay for the whole year. WeWantPicks.com at the top. Click Become a Member. And as always, if you want $50, all you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners. Make a deposit, and I will send you $50 as a thank you. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit. I'll send you $50. Next up at UFC Vegas 60, we have the feature fight of the evening. We have Andre Fili taking on Bill Algeo. Andre Fili, 21-9 overall, 1-3-1 in his last 5, and he is coming off the knockout loss to Joe Anderson Brito. Bill Algeo, 16-6 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off the memorable win over Herbert Burns. And Andre Fili's a really well-rounded guy, and he was supposed to be sort of the next big thing coming out of Team Alpha Male, but he just didn't live up to that hype. And part of that was matchmaking. If you take a look at him and see who he fought Max Holloway in his second UFC fight, and his other losses were Yair Rodriguez and Calvin Kattar. Style-wise, Andre is a very well-rounded technical brawler with wrestling. He does get hit often, which you can see with his negative striking differential, and he does rely on his chin, which did hold up until that last fight. And we've talked about this a bunch of times, and Jacob always says it. You've never been knocked out until you have. But, there's a lot of fighters recently that have been relying on their chins, and we've seen
I've been knocked down. I had my best friend knocked me down one time. That was not a fun night, but wasn't knocked out. And that was a good hit. I ate that well. I mean, that was right to the side of the head. Wasn't a chin shot. I never take him on the chin, Angelo.
I bet. Bill Algeo is a fast-paced striker who has kind of a karate-style stance, like with his hand placement and movement. And because of that, his defense is pretty solid and surprisingly high output of almost 6 significant strikes per minute. He likes a dirty stand-up war if he can keep it there. And he does have some okay takedowns, but a very low 54% takedown accuracy. He's got a BJJ black belt, great cardio, a fast pace, and he is super durable. And he's coming off that win over Herbert Burns where he literally broke that man. He broke him, and that was one of the most embarrassing fights and situations I've ever seen, ever. Not for Bill, for Herbert. And I've been high on Andre Fili in the past, and I really thought that he could be something meaningful in the UFC. I was buying into all that hype early, but he's 2 years removed from his last win, and I don't see him getting another one here. If I knew he would stick to a pure wrestling game plan, 100% he would be the pick, but he just hasn't really done that since that Charles Jourdain fight. And, I think Algeo's pressure, pace, and his chin are going to get him the win here. So I'm going the underdog with Bill Algeo. I got a money line bet on him at plus 115. So if you're a premium member, you saw that bet. And those are much more favorable odds than the plus 100 here. What do you think, Jakey Lutz?
Yeah, there's 3 people that are like all the same people to me. There's Charles Jourdain, Charles Rosa, and Bill Algeo. They're all like very tough, nasty fighters. Not great anywhere, but they always find a way to win these tough matchups. And I think this is the same situation in this fight where Bill Algeo is definitely probably going to be the tougher, nastier, grittier fighter. But if you're looking at pure skill, as you mentioned, Touchy-feely, I think, is head and shoulders talented above Bill Algeo. He's one of the more talented guys in the division, as you mentioned. Because of that, he started off in the UFC against some of the toughest guys. I mean, they knew he was this tough guy. They tested him early. He failed a lot of those tests, but as a fighter, he is a much more well-rounded fighter than, I said more well-rounded. I think you said that earlier.
Sure did.
Yeah, he is the much well-rounded fighter than Bill Algeo in this matchup. And I actually think this is the perfect matchup for touchy-feely. If you lose this matchup versus Bill Algeo, then you're really, really in the struggle bus. You're probably going Bellator, PFL, something like that. Struggle bus like that. Because touchy-feely is a guy that, against a power striker, obviously against Joseph Brito, if you want to play the MMA math, Bill Algeo beat Brito, and then Brito knocks out touchy-feely. But Brito has like real knockout power. And in this matchup, Bill Algeo doesn't have knockout power. So he doesn't really have to worry about the knockout power of Bill Algeo. He can kind of play his game on the feet. And as you mentioned, he can kind of mix in some takedowns as well, because Bill Algeo doesn't have the greatest takedown defense. And I think that touchy-feely can come in, do his normal game plan of just keeping that distance, bouncing in and out. He's got decent power on his own when he lands a good shot. I think he finds his rhythm in this fight versus Bill Algeo, a guy that's not super dangerous on the feet, mixes in some takedowns. And I think this, honestly, is a perfect matchup for him. Does that mean he's going to win? Doesn't mean he's going to win, because we've seen him lose fights that he should win in the past. I mean, that's just what happens in MMA sometimes. But I think he's a better fighter, and I think this is a perfect matchup for him. So I'm going touchy-feely, fool me once, type situation. We'll see if it pays off. Bill Algeo definitely is probably the tougher, grittier guy. So if this turns into an ugly fight, it's going to lean that way. Same with Charles Rosa, Charles Jourdain, all those fighters. But I think Andre's the better fighter in this matchup.
Well, we've talked about this before. This is another fight where Jacob and I are on different sides, but we completely agree in our analysis. Our analysis is the same. We both think Andre Fili is very talented. He's good everywhere. But I think Bill Algeo is going to be able to get the win. Jacob jinx Andre Fili is going to be able to get the win.
How do you see that win for Bill Algeo? Just
pressure and pace. Just going to stay in his face, beat him up. Andre Fili coming off that bad knockout. Probably going to be a little gun shy. Might dive at legs, but Bill Algeo, could defend a few, and then it makes Andre look desperate. I think it's a decision win for Bill Algeo. That knockout was pretty bad.
I disagree with the pick, but I don't disagree with that.
That knockout was bad. It was career-changing bad. Like, some people don't recover from those, and I don't mean physically, like emotionally recover. So.
Right. And he's only 32 years old, but he's
a rough 32. He's a rough 32.
Those are some big fights he's been in, some rough fights.
100%. With that being said,
hard.
I do appreciate Andre Fili. I like I said in the past, I've been really high on him, and I wanted him to do well. It just never lived up to the hype. But $8,300, listen, I said this. If I knew he was going to wrestle, he'd be my pick, and he'd be the best $8,300 value on the card. I just don't know if he's going to do that. What do you think?
Yeah, Bill's just way too tough for me to. I'm picking Andre to win, but he's just way too tough for the $8,300.
Gotcha. I already told you about the bet, and if you're a premium member, you saw that. You got that line early and got some better plus money on it. And the Monkey Knife Fight strike line, 44-82. That tells you everything you need to know about Bill Algeo. That's this dude's volume.
I think it's more and more. If you think Bill's going to push the pace, I don't think he's really a finisher. I don't think he's going to knock out touchy-feely. And he's going to pull those strikes out of him. I think it's more and more.
I think it could be as well. I mean, that's I hate doing the more when we have a line like that high, but I think you're right. I think it's a war, and that's what Bill Algeo does. WeWantPicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit. All you need to do is say more or less than the strike line. And if you want $50 for free, all you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners, make a deposit, and I will send you $50 as a thank you.